What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 21 of our RB Barner Let's Play here in Football Manager 2020. Yes, today we are back with the second game of the Champions League group stage in this, our third season at the club. We're going to be playing against Ajax at home, and Ajax won their first game. If you watched last episode, you know how we got on against Porto, but do feel free to go check it out, of course. It wasn't the perfect result, and since then, it's been okay. It's not been great, it's not been bad. We've only played 3 matches in the league, but you can see here there's some criticisms of some recent results. The Porto game and a league game. And well, let's discuss the league games first and foremost. Now, we had Eibar, Levante and Leganés. Eibar and Leganés, two teams who, if we look at their media prediction, 13th for Eibar. For Leganés, they are one of the worst teams in the league, 18th predicted for them. So I was anticipating us to do quite well. Levante, they're in 17th, and their media prediction was 12th. So again, a game that we should be winning. And well, unfortunately, it wasn't a flawless run through these games. We started off with the game against Eibar. Let's look at the goals for this. This was a great little performance by a fully rotated team. Elena just had a standout performance. 2 almost identical goals, it felt like, in the first half by him, 2 minutes apart, and it set us off to a flyer. They pegged us back through Andreas Pereira, and then in the, I guess, the latter stages of the first half and the start of the second half, who else was it going to be? It was Abel Ruiz to grab a brace. 2 good goals for him. He did miss a penalty as well in this game for a hat-trick, and, well, you might be able to tell by some of the players you're seeing in the highlights. This was a very rotated team, and for the first time in my leadership kind of time here at Barner, I've got to a point where we have 2 kind of best 11s that I rotate between. We'll show them after the results so you can get a better idea, but this was a rotated team for this game. Anyway, for the next game, I went full strength. Levante, tricky opposition, and as you can see, it finished 2-2 here. Koita got us off to a good little start in the 5th minute. Unfortunately for us, our lead was lost through 2 goals by Roger Marti. 2 somewhat infamous goals, I guess. If you've been playing Football Manager this year, you might have noticed in the latest match engine, it feels like a lot of long balls through the middle, resulting goals. It felt a little bit like this as Marti grabbed 2 for them. And, well, Suso on off the bench with a huge little goal for us. And he was struggling a little bit for match fitness, so I didn't start him, but he had an impact, the £47 million man. And he's had a pretty good impact so far since he joined the club. 2 goals, 1 man of the match in 5 league appearances, including 2 appearances on off the bench. A 7.48 average rating. He's optimistic about the future, and so am I. I really like what he's bringing to the table as an impact player out on the right. Anyway, our next game against Leganés, a team that we should be beating. They're struggling in the league. We played a rotated 11, and this game finished 1-0. Abel Ruiz taking it round the keeper for a tidy little finish. And that's where kind of things have been over the last 2 weeks. It's only been 2 weeks since our previous game against Porto, and it has been a little bit of a challenge just kind of rotating the team. The good news is actually Blanco is fit and raring to go, and with that I probably need to update my best 11s, and this is something that I've definitely shown before, but I appreciate there's new people here on the channel, so I'll show it again. But I really like to save team selection, so we have a best 11 4-4-2. And this is the team we're going to go with today. As you can see, we only have, in fact, we don't have anyone missing who we would want to play. No injuries to speak of. That's a bit of a miracle. But yes, we have our best 11 here. In fact, let's look on the tactics screen. It looks more visually pleasing here. And then we also have, if we just go to our best 4-4-2 number 2, kind of a plan B squad. So these are 2 completely different starting 11s, including the goalkeeper, although I wouldn't always do that. Ivan Martinez has impressed me so much this season. I kind of want to give him as much game time as I can. He's played very, very well for us. You can see just across the board, he's done good for us. Only 1 clean sheet, but he's made a lot of saves, which is, I guess, a common trend this year in the match engine. It feels like goalkeepers actually make a difference. But yes, there's lots of advantages to having 2 kind of teams that I can alternate between like this. The first, obviously, being for fitness reasons. You know, you can If you've got the squad depth like we have, against weaker opposition, bring in the B team, let the first team have a rest, especially with European football, it's kind of vital. And the other benefit, I guess, of completely rotating the teams like we are here is partnerships can form between players. If, say, we were to bring in Jedson Fernandez sometimes and Hadara sometimes into the first team rather than rotating the whole team, they would never play together, they wouldn't play regularly enough with other centre mids, they wouldn't develop much. Whereas in this situation here, where we have our two best 11s, It allows teams to synergise with one another. You know, these players are going to get to know each other, and then our best 11 are going to get to know each other. And I'm hoping over time partnerships will form. And you can see in the case of Koita and Haaland, they're getting on really well, the two former Salzburg players. Of course, they're going to know each other from their time at Salzburg. But yeah, they've been getting a decent amount of goals for us. Abel Ruiz is leading the way actually with 5 goals. Alenia definitely deserves a little bit of a shout out. This guy has been top draw so far for us, a 7.56 average rating in the league, and you can see he's been a bit of a beneficiary of the rotation that's been going on, and of course the Denis Suarez injury to start the year. He's played 5 games this year, and he's done very, very well in them, which is obviously fantastic to see. So anyway, this is the team for today's game against Ajax. It's only been 2 weeks since the last game. We've been juggling a little bit with player fitness. You can see here Blanco can play, should be capable as well, Suso. So yeah, for the first time all year, no injuries to speak of, which is really good. You can see here Blanco passed fitness test, should be monitored. I'm going to chance it. We're not going to have a goalkeeper on the bench. I know some people love to have a keeper on the bench. I feel like it comes back to bite you maybe once a year in Football Manager, and the flexibility that an extra substitute option gives you, in my opinion, is just worth that risk. Now, if in this game Blanco gets injured, I will take that all back and I will use a goalkeeper on the bench for the rest of the year of playing Football Manager. But it's a chance I'm willing to take. We're taking on a ferocious Ajax team here. They were the number 1 seed in the group, of course. In real life, they made it to the Champions League semi-final a couple of years ago now, relative to where we are in game. You can see their team. There's a few familiar faces, players like David Neres, Quincy Promes, Tadic as well, and Daley Blind. So, yeah, they've managed to hold some of that squad together, but at the same time, we should be dispatching of them. There's a reason that we're favourites here at home. I think the fact we're at home probably is the difference maker for us. So, well, let's see how he can do. They have a player who has a name that has OK in it. I don't know if that is OK, although Tadic is bringing it forward. We need to make better tackles than that. Fortunately, he shot it straight into the side netting, but that defending was questionable at best. I'm going to get shouty to start this. They have bullied us so far in this game. It's been pretty even in terms of possession. Not a load of chances either way. But we need to step things up here. And well, Koita skips past his man. Should pass it to Haaland. Could go alone on his left foot though. It's half cleared to Haaland. Lays it back to Denis Suarez. Is the chance over, or can Reguilón make something happen here? The answer is a no. I will say, given Reguilón a new contract and Abel Ruiz a new contract recently, which I think is going to be very, very important. Abel Ruiz, he's scored 5 goals so far this season. Reguilón's been a regular at left-back. Both of them have signed 5-year deals at the club. One of the club kind of philosophies that we have is to get players signing 4-year deals or longer. And well, it's great to have such a young squad like we do, and players just committing their long-term future to the squad now. I think in our first team, there can't be more than 1 or 2 players who have contracts running out in the next 2 or 3 seasons. We're in a really, really good spot in that regard. A young squad, a developing squad. And I'm hoping that, you know, we can thrive from the Champions League experience we're going to get this year. I say that like I would be content going out in the group stage. I absolutely wouldn't be. I want to beat Ajax here, and we're going to have to beat Porto at home when we meet them later on in the group stage. But, yeah, truth be told, like, this is a team with a big future ahead of itself, but I feel like after last season where we did so well in the league, we should be expecting huge things from our players. I expect us to win this kind of game, and well, the fact the media do perhaps gives you an idea of just how far along this team is. Can we apply some pressure here? Can we do it? Sangaré gets the ball forward to Quincy Promes on the left-hand side. He's going to cut inside, saved kind of unconvincingly by Blanco, but he has saved it. So I have to give him the credit. It was almost the last kick of the half. Boys, I am far from pleased with what I've seen there. Look at these half-time ratings. That is awful. Nordi, you've run far. Reguilón, you completed a few crosses. The fact that they are the silver linings we are looking at fills me a little bit with dread. You can see it, by the way, as the half went on. We did get into the game more. We did start to edge out possession, having a few more shots, but we're not really creating enough clear-cut chances. And with an hour gone and no more highlights in this half, I'm going to make a bold decision. And that bold decision, I was going to bring on Jonathan David and Abel Ruiz. I'm not going to do it, but I am going to bring in Ruiz because his goal scoring has just been phenomenal so far this year. Suso's played okay. In the centre of the midfield, we've not been particularly great with Palacios and Florentino Luis. You know what? I'm going to bring in Hadara and Do I want to bring in Jedson Fernandez? You know what? I'm not going to just yet. I was thinking about bringing him in for Florentino Luis, but I don't want to risk an injury happening. It's been going far too well recently at the club. Let's just see how we get on here. And, well, I don't know if this is a highlight. The subs have happened, so maybe we're about to have an immediate impact, or maybe I'm about to have my head in my hands. What can we do here? Hadara wins it on off the bench. Running on his own. Please cross it. Please cross it. He shoots, but it falls straight to Abel Ruiz. And I'm a genius. They've been on the pitch a matter of seconds. I think less than 30 seconds, pretty much. But, yeah, Hadaro wins the ball here off, I didn't catch his first name, or his last name. Akushlu. That's a great name. But either way, he's been caught out of possession. He's not feeling so okay. And, well, Abel Ruiz is feeling able to celebrate there because he's hit the back of the net. That doesn't even make sense as a pun jack. Move on. Reguilon's been booked. Right. Be well behaved at left back, please, Reguilon. We win the ball here through Suso. What can he do? Dinks it forward to Haaland. He looked offside, but it's not been given. He's hit the woodwork. Ruiz, can you keep it alive? I mean, he can, and then he just runs it straight out for a goal kick, but it's 1-0 here. They're looking overwhelmed by their manager's team talks. I think we just got a good response out of demanding more. So Q Football Managers now to start a highlight after we've done a good team talk and they've done a bad one, and will be the team to concede. That's how Football Manager logic works sometimes. They've got possession, they dink it forward. David Neres, the Brazilian, ghosting inside, and well, Blanco's made a great save, and then he's chased after the ball as if he wants to take a quick goal kick, and then he's remembered, oh, it's a corner, and we need to deal with this corner. Martinez gets it clear to Haaland. Now he can run. He's got green grass ahead of him to run into. He's stopped running. He's got bored of running, and he's decided it's not worth it. 10 minutes left. Quintero to whip the ball in for them here. Nice clearance by Nguene. Haaland helps it on its way. Now with Abel Ruiz on off the bench. Turns past his man. Skips past the tackle. If he scores this, what a goal it would be. Oh, Onana denies him. And Ruiz actually is another player who recently signed a new contract along with Reguilon. I think I talked about that before, but I had to give him it. He's been so good for us this year. He scored in this game as well. He's earning his keep. Hadara to Florentino Luis. Where are you going, Florentino? He's going back to Reguilon. We're going to be patient, apparently. Denis Suarez, Florentino Luis. Lovely build-up play. That is sexy football. Is there end product? I mean, there's not, but the build-up play was so nice there. The little intricate passing to find some space and work the space in the wide area for a cross to be whipped in. And, well, we're going to try and make some more of it here. Suso brings it forward. Where are you going? Oh, he's had a rush of blood to the head, bless him. He's got carried away there. They've got a lot of players on bookings. We've got one last sub. Who do I want to bring on? Haaland's had a poor game. Let's just bring in David. Get another pacey striker on the pitch. It's what we have in abundance here at Barna. Suso, free kick from deep. Onana, it looked like he teleported to catch that there, but I'm not going to question the game. He did save it, and he's going to hoof it clear to Tadic, who, well, he's not the kind of player who's known for his aerial ability, I feel like, and, well, that was evident there. Suso, what a ball that is to Denis Suarez. Florentino Luis threaded through. Can he pull it back? He does. David, I mean, that is just... We've played some superb football in this game. This is why we are doing so well in the league. Next episode, we've got two huge games. We've got to play Real Madrid in the league, and I think it's Dynamo Kiev in the Champions League group stage. If we can get 2 wins in those 2 games, I will be convinced that we're the real deal. Florentino Luis, how many players have you seen smash it into the side net in there? I've seen more than I can count do it in Football Manager. He didn't do it there. He pulls it back to Jonathan David, who is finally off the mark for the season. That was his first goal, and it's been a little long overdue, but glad to see him get it. You can see here, Porto won 1-0, so they scraped to win. And, well, of course, I completely forgot about this. Lisandro Martinez was signed from Ajax this season. Look how good he is. Look how good he is. He's like the most complete centre-back you've ever seen. He's in that elite tier with the likes of Eder Militao, where it's like a defender. I mean, if we just... I have to show you what I mean. If you look at Eder Militao, who is actually incredible, more incredible this year than I realised, and Alessandro Martinez, they're kind of in this elite group of defenders who are just incredible technically and with their vision. I mean, look at Martinez. Look at him. I could probably play him as a libero if I wanted to. In fact, you definitely could play him as a libero. We're not playing a libero. We're not going to do it, but we could do it if we wanted to. What's his negatives? What are you unhappy about? He's unhappy. Bless him. He's unhappy with his low level of training. You know what, then? Defensive positioning. Have fun. He's already really good at that, but he can be even better at it. David ends his goal drought. He went 10 hours of competitive football without a goal. I'm glad I hadn't realised that that was a thing, but that's good. You can see he's been scoring goals in the World Cup qualifiers for Canada, although that is a slightly different calibre of competition. Yeah, that doesn't look good, does it? Well, hopefully this can now allow him to kick on and, I guess, find some new form. You can see we get a little bit of money for the Ajax win, which is nice. We've got Girona, who are in 7th at the moment, so they're going pretty strong. But next episode, it's going to be a big one. We're going to have Real Madrid and Dynamo Kiev. Real Madrid currently in 3rd in La Liga. If we just look at the table, because we've not really looked at it, you can see we're currently 2 points ahead of Valencia, Real Madrid, 1 point ahead of Barcelona. Atleti, again, really struggling this year. And yeah, so far so good for us. Our only points dropped against Levante. You can see Barcelona lost against Real Madrid. Real Madrid have drawn 2 against Eibar and Sporting Gijon. 2 teams who we've actually already played. I am conscious of the fact we have played a few of the teams down towards the bottom end of the table, though. We're going to be now, I imagine, running into some games in the near future against kind of those teams in the mid-table, and that is definitely the case. And of course, that Barcelona game on the horizon for in November kind of lingers in the back of my mind as something that we are going to need to be ready and prepared for. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Another great performance by us in the Champions League. This time we get the result that I felt like we probably deserved against Porto. I hope now we can crack on. I'll see you next time for a double header. It's going to be a big one. Keep your eyes open for it. And yeah, that is going to be all from me today. Thank you for watching, guys. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.